Chapter 1, Collision Course. In the city that never sleeps, ambition is currency, and love is a luxury few can afford. On opposite ends of Manhattan, two empires rise with every heartbeat, run by two people who swore they'd never need anyone. Ava Sinclair, 29, CEO of Sinclair Innovations. Sharp mind, sharper heels, the youngest woman to take a tech startup public in less than 5 years. Sinclair Innovations hits a new high this quarter, shaking Wall Street expectations. But success comes at a cost: long nights, missed birthdays, and trust left behind in glass boardrooms. Ethan Cole, 33, founder of Cole Capital, Wall Street's golden wolf. He built his empire brick by brutal brick and never once looked back. Ethan, buy Apex, outbid her by 10%. She won't see it coming. They were destined to collide, neither knew how soon. Chapter 2, Velvet and Venom. At the extravagant Tech World Gala under Manhattan's finest chandeliers, the city's elite gathered. Billionaires, power brokers, scandals waiting to bloom. Ava entered like a storm in silk, emerald green dress, daring neckline, and eyes that dared anyone to challenge her. Ethan, Miss Sinclair, you're far more radiant than your quarterly report. Mr. Cole, always good to see competition dressing well before a defeat, a smirk, a challenge, and an undeniable spark. Chapter 3, Strategic Strike. The next morning, war began. Ethan's first blow, a hostile takeover of Ava's long-standing partner. Ava retaliated. Pull the patents on Project Helix. Let's see how long he lasts without them. Game on. Let's dance. E. They played the market like chess, sharp, tactical, and dangerously close to each other's hearts. Chapter 4, Whispers and War Rooms. Whispers grew. Shareholders flinched, and then came Cassandra Vey, Ava's former mentor turned foe, a venture capitalist with venom in her smile. Cassandra, empires fall, darling, especially ones built by little girls pretending to be wolves. Ethan watched from the shadows. Ava's fire was undeniable and dangerously intoxicating. Chapter 5, Rain and Whiskey. One rainy night amidst the city's thunder and secrets. Can't sleep either? I sleep just fine. You just make a good excuse to drink. They traded barbs like old lovers, not enemies. You don't trust anyone, do you? Eth, I don't have to. I control everything I touch. A moment, a brush of hands, a kiss, fierce, forbidden electric. Chapter 6, Fallout. The kiss didn't fix things, it complicated everything. Damian Cole, Ethan's brother, long thought dead, returned, and he wasn't alone. Damian, you always had everything, Ethan. Now I'll take what matters most, her. He partnered with Cassandra. Together, they unleashed chaos. Ava's private emails leaked, Ethan's offshore accounts exposed. You leaked this. You wanted to sabotage me. I didn't, Ava, I swear. If I wanted to ruin you, I'd never fall for you. She left. Trust broken. Again, Chapter 7, In the Silence. Ethan vanished. Ava buried herself in work, but silence didn't soothe her. She traced the trail. Something didn't add up. Damian, Cassandra, too perfect. She hired an ex-CIA hacker? Give me 48 hours. If it's fake, I'll find it. Chapter 8, The Truth Unveiled. Ethan returned, not to beg, but to fight. This email chain fabricated, this audio spliced. Victor Hale orchestrated the leak to destabilize both our companies. Victor Hale, Damian's former investor, the true puppet master. The lies shattered, the real villains exposed. Chapter 9, The Fountain. At the fountain where it all began, I should have trusted you. You don't need to, just walk beside me. She did. Not because she was ready, but because it was real. Chapter 10, Empire Forged in Fire. A year later, Sinclair Coal Industries was born, a symbol of survival, trust, and power built on ashes. But new threats loomed, foreign tech giants, global wars, and deeper betrayals. Still, they stood strong. We're honored to be led by the most powerful couple on Wall Street. And we race. In the world of ambition and betrayal, love is the rarest weapon, and they wielded it together. Chapter 11, The Pact. Ethan and Ava's unity sent shockwaves through the industry. Together, they were unstoppable, but alliances came with a price. Their inner circles questioned the sudden trust. Enemies waited for cracks to show. Ethan, If we're going to survive this, we need absolute loyalty. No secrets. Then tell me about your past. All of it. That night, Ethan opened doors he had kept sealed. Family betrayal, corporate sabotage, the real reason Damien vanished. Cassandra's counterstrike. Cassandra wasn't finished. She filed a federal lawsuit accusing Sinclair Coal Industries of monopoly and insider trading. Power unchecked becomes corruption. We must protect the market from tyrants in designer suits. Ava responded with calm strategy. We'll counterfile. False claims, libel, she'll drown in paper before this hits court. But Ethan had a feeling Cassandra had more in store. Chapter 13, The Vulnerable Edge. Despite their public image, Ava began to crack. Memories of her childhood surfaced, her father's expectations, her mother's suicide. The grief never truly left her. She's wearing armor made of grief. If she breaks, this company breaks with her. Chapter 14, The Secret Investor. A mysterious buyer began acquiring Sinclair Coal shares through shell corporations. Jin Park, a data analyst, traced the purchases back to Victor Hale. Jin, he's buying votes on the board, slowly, quietly. Not again. This time, Ava was prepared. Chapter 15, A Dangerous Offer. Damien returned, not with threats, but with leverage. Damien, let me back in. I'll hand you Hale's entire plan. You win. I walk away rich. Why would we ever trust you? Because you already do. Ethan's been talking to me behind your back. A silence fell. The first real fracture in their renewed alliance. Chapter 16, Truth and Turmoil. Ethan admitted it. He had spoken to Damien months ago to end things before they escalated. I was protecting you. I don't need your protection. I need your honesty. She walked out that night. Again. Chapter 17, Backdoor Dealings. Alone and angry, Ava turned to her greatest rival. You want a seat at the table? Help me take down Victor Hale, then walk away. That sounds delicious. An unholy alliance was born. The trial begins. The federal antitrust trial commenced. Ethan and Ava arrived together, hand in hand, but their eyes carried the weight of betrayal and doubt. The media called them a facade. The board saw them as reckless, the world obsessed. Chapter 19, Kai's Betrayal. Ava's trusted assistant, Kai, was caught selling confidential data to Hale. Ava, you were like family. I needed the money. You wouldn't understand. She did, but that didn't change the outcome. Get out! Chapter 20, Fire and Ice. Ava and Ethan fought harder than ever, but finally they fought together. Boardroom wins, legal victories, Hale's assets frozen, but Hale had one final desperate move. Chapter 21, A Kidnapped Future. Ava's youngest cousin, Lily, was kidnapped. A note was left behind, withdraw the lawsuit or she dies. He's not just ruthless, he's desperate. Ava didn't flinch. She called in her hacker. I'll find her, but it won't be pretty. 22. The Rescue. After a 48-hour cyber war, they tracked Lily to a Long Island safe house. Ava led the rescue herself. No PR, no delay. Hale was arrested the next morning. Chapter 23, Clean Sweep. With Hale behind bars, Cassandra disappeared. No trace, no word, but Ava received a private message. Cassay, one day you'll thank me, or you'll destroy me. Either way, we're not done. Chapter 24, The Merger Finalized. The Sinclair Coal merger was finalized in a global ceremony. World leaders attended. You're not just CEOs, you're history makers. But Ethan and Ava only cared about one thing, finally finding peace. Chapter 25, Past is Prologue. Just as the dust settled, Ava's father called, for the first time in 12 years. Ava. Why now? Because the ghosts we bury don't stay buried. Chapter 26, The Foundation Cracks. Ava uncovered old estate documents, revealing that her father funded Cassandra years ago. Her entire path to success had been manipulated. I've been someone's puppet all along. Then let's cut the strings. Chapter 27, Shadows of the Past. Ethan visited his mother's grave, alone. A journal left behind exposed the truth. Damien was abused by their father. Ethan took the blame to shield him. Forgiveness didn't erase the scars, but it softened them. Chapter 28, Global Tensions. Zenith Corp, a Chinese conglomerate, began dismantling Sinclair Coal's international branches. Their new CEO was cold and strategic. Business is war. Let's see how loud you scream. Chapter 29, Blood and Steel. Sabotage, lawsuits, poison. Ethan was nearly killed at a diplomatic gala. If we lose you, I lose everything. Then we fight harder. Chapter 30, 1 year later, through every betrayal and war they endured. Sinclair Coal expanded into Europe and Asia. Then quietly, Ethan and Ava married. No press, no guests, just them. When Ava whispered, "We won," Ethan smiled. "No, we survived. That's stronger than winning." Chapter 31, The Edge of Loyalty. The winter air outside the Sinclair Coal headquarters bit through coats and scarves, but inside, a different kind of heat rose between Ethan and Ava. A tense board meeting with global partners had just ended, and the room still buzzed with static. "Ethan, you're not hearing me, Ava." He shut the glass door behind him. "I hear you fine. I just don't agree." She stood by the window, arms folded. They were on edge, not with each other, but with what was coming. Hesheng Corp, a Chinese tech conglomerate, was circling their joint AI project like sharks. They're planning a hostile patent claim. Then we outmaneuver them legally before it hits international headlines. No longer just lovers and leaders, they were soldiers in a silent war. Chapter 32. They met with Malin Zhou, an informant from the UN's Tech Regulation Board. Sharp eyes, a Mandarin British accent, and no time for pleasantries. "Hesheng's CEO isn't after your AI, he's after your reputation. He'll use your relationship to paint Sinclair Coal as biased and unstable." Ava glanced at Ethan. "Then we fight with precision. Just know, survival will cost you something personal." The break. In a stunning move, Ava stepped down from Sinclair Coal temporarily, citing an internal conflict of interest investigation. The media erupted. At a press conference, Ethan stood alone, composed but hollow-eyed. "Is your relationship compromising the company's integrity? My personal life never compromises my business. Ava Sinclair and I remain allies, regardless of roles." From her penthouse, Ava watched, and though her heart ached, she knew it had to be done. Chapter 34, Cassandra's Last Play. Cassandra Vale resurfaced with Novacrest, her new AI startup, a clone of Sinclair Coal's tech. Lawsuits flew, battle lines reformed. Ava returned to the spotlight, rejoining Ethan at the Global Tech Summit in Dubai. This is a war they started. Now let's end it. Chapter 35, The Summit Strike. On stage in Dubai, Ava's speech became an international sensation. Innovation isn't born in shadows, it grows under fire. Betrayal only sharpens the blade of vision, and today, Sinclair Coal reclaims the future. Behind the scenes, their legal team filed an injunction, freezing Novacrest's assets. Chapter 36, Damien returned, on the run. Facing imminent arrest for fraud, he surrendered to the FBI. Ethan visited him in jail. "Ethan, what do you want?" "To see how far you'd go to protect her." "You've gone soft." "Soft doesn't mean weak. It means I found someone worth staying sharp for." Chapter 37, Ghosts in the Code. A major breach struck their AI. Ava's personal files were nearly erased. The mole? A programmer Ava had once mentored. "Why, Jin?" "They offered to pay off my sister's hospital bills." Ava didn't forgive him, but she understood. "Get out, and don't come back." Chapter 38, Storm Before Sunrise. The final global board vote loomed. Whether Sinclair Coal would survive depended on a razor-thin margin. Ava sat alone in the boardroom. Ethan entered, carrying 2 coffees. "If this goes south, then we rebuild. Together. Again. You're not just the CEO I fell for, you're the woman I'd burn cities for." Power restored. The vote passed. Barely, but it passed. Sinclair Coal remained whole. A new board was sworn in. Blacklisted globally, Novacrest collapsed overnight. Damien sentenced to 25 years in federal prison. Jin En vanished from the country. Peace returned, but not without scars. Ethan and Ava stepped back, a long overdue sabbatical. Chapter 40, Fireflies in Florence. 6 months later, in the quiet hills of Florence, Ava and Ethan sat beneath firefly-lit skies, a vineyard behind them. No headlines, no shareholders, just love. Ava, think the world will miss us? Ethan, only until we're ready to come back. Let's make them wait. And under the Italian stars, the Titans of Manhattan finally found peace. For now. Chapter 41, Whisper Contracts. Despite the peace in Florence, the empire never truly slept. Ava received a discreet, encrypted message from their legal head, Marla Keys. Marla, a South Korean conglomerate, Lumitech, just bought 15% of our AI patent cluster through a shell investor. They're prepping something. Ava's calm exterior cracked. Ethan, vacation's over. Chapter 42. The Headhunter. Back in New York, a headhunter named Salvatore Cruz began poaching top engineers from Sinclair Coal. Ava met him face to face at a networking brunch. Business is war, sweetheart, and your soldiers are tired. Then it's time to show you what we do to traitors in our camp. That afternoon, Sinclair Coal offered double to every poached hire, plus NDAs tighter than steel. Chapter 43, The Secret Lab. Ethan discovered a hidden data lab in Zurich, funded under one of Damien's former aliases. Inside, experimental AI protocols dangerously close to conscious simulation. Ethan, someone's trying to race ahead of our timeline, and they don't care about ethics. If this gets out, it'll be chaos. They shut it down, but not before someone downloaded the backup. Chapter 44, The Doppelganger Protocol. 2 weeks later, a deepfake video of Ava signing off on illegal data collection leaked online. Public outcry exploded. Her face, her voice, her signature, all fake but believable enough to cause a crash. We're not just fighting rivals anymore, we're fighting ghosts. Chapter 45, The Hacker Returns. Desperate, Ava called back the ex-CIA hacker. Quinn. This isn't just AI, it's quantum-enhanced mimicry, military grade. Someone's testing their arsenal, and you're the target. Then let's give them a target that bites back. Quinn traced the data to an offshore server in the Maldives, run by Lumtech's Black Division. Ethan orchestrated a legal raid with Interpol cooperation. The world watched as headlines screamed, Sinclair Coal exposes quantum sabotage ring. Stocks soared. Rivals panicked, but one message appeared anonymously in Ava's inbox. You win this one, but the next phase has already begun. Chapter 47, Tension in Tokyo. During the annual Tokyo Tech Forum, Ava and Ethan were both keynote speakers on separate stages. The media speculated separation. Investors buzzed. Ethan, independence doesn't mean division. Sometimes the strongest couples walk two paths to protect one legacy. The audience roared. Ava's eyes, watching from the wings, softened. Chapter 48, Secrets and Champagne. That night, in a quiet Tokyo rooftop bar, Ava finally asked what had been haunting her. If everything crumbled tomorrow, would you still love me without the empire? I'd love you even if I was nothing but a name in your past. And in that moment, love spoke louder than ambition ever had. Chapter 49, The Wedding Nobody Saw Coming. 1 month later, in the botanical glass garden of Ava's childhood estate, they married in silence. No press, no guests, just them. No fireworks, just hands held tight, promises whispered, and two hearts saying yes to the storm and the calm. Chapter 50, A New Beginning. Back in New York, the Sinclair Coal logo now glowed atop their new sustainable tech division. They had new enemies, bigger plans, deeper scars, but they were no longer fighting alone. In a world ruled by shadows and power, the greatest advantage was love that couldn't be bought. Chapter 51, Ghost Accounts. While merging the new sustainable tech division, Quinn flagged ghost financial movements under Ava's name, hundreds of microtransactions routed through shell companies in Nigeria. Someone's building a slush fund in my name. Why? To make it look like you're funding something dark, something offshore. They suspected Damien, but this felt deeper, like someone in their own company had turned. Chapter 52, The Insider. A junior compliance officer, Lydia Ames, was caught accessing restricted files. When interrogated, she broke. It's not what you think. I was paid by someone who called themselves Kestrel. The name hit Ava like a brick. Kestrel was her father's code name during covert government tech operations before his mysterious death. A ghost from her past was speaking. Chapter 53, The Legacy Files. Digging deeper, Ava uncovered a locked drive her father left behind. Only one person could decrypt it, a man presumed dead, Dr. Ellery Maelstrom, a former Pentagon cyber weapons architect and her father's closest ally. They found him in Iceland. Dr. Maelstrom, he left you something powerful and dangerous. Inside the drive, schematics for a decentralized intelligence grid that could outpace any government or company. Chapter 54, The Ultimatum. Meanwhile, Ethan was approached by an international consortium led by Alaric Chin, a Chinese-American AI mogul. Merge with us, bring Ava's tech, or watch your legacy get buried in algorithms you can't control. Ethan declined. Politely, but their response wasn't. 3 Sinclair Cole engineers were kidnapped in Thailand while attending a robotics expo. Chapter 55, The Rescue. Working with Quinn, Ava and Ethan coordinated a private Black Ops retrieval mission using Ava's family trust contacts and intelligence. After 48 hours, the engineers were rescued, traumatized but alive. Ava had once been a queen of the boardroom. Now, she was playing global chess with ghosts, mercenaries, and digital gods. Chapter 56, The Betrayal Within. Evidence surfaced linking Cassandra to the consortium. Ethan. She was feeding them every strategic decision we made. But it got worse. Board member Julian West, a trusted family friend, had been quietly leaking board meeting recordings for 2 years. You forgot the golden rule. Empires are only loyal to profit. They removed him in a historic vote. Chapter 57, A Rift. The stress fractured Ava and Ethan again. Ethan. I kept us alive. I broke laws to protect you, and now you won't even look at me. Because you stopped trusting me. A week passed. Silence. Distance. But Quinn found something that pulled them back together. Kestrel's real identity was still alive. Chapter 58, The Father Returns. Her father, Declan Sinclair, alive, in hiding, faked his death after sabotaging a CIA AI experiment that nearly triggered a global surveillance collapse. He resurfaced in Geneva. Declan, you weren't ready, but now you're stronger than I ever was. Tears, questions, rage, but also answers. He warned her. They'll use love against you. They always do. Chapter 59, United Again. After speaking with Declan, Ava found Ethan waiting at the fountain once more. No words, just his coat over her shoulders. Ethan, we finish this together or not at all? They returned to New York, united, defiant, and now backed by a ghost who refused to die. Chapter 60, Prelude to the Endgame. Ava revealed the decentralized intelligence system her father designed. It could change the world or destroy it. As clouds gathered over global markets, war rooms lit up, and in a boardroom lined with glass and steel, Ava and Ethan made a final decision. We go live. Let the world see what real power looks like. Chapter 61, The Revelation Broadcast. Ava and Ethan stood at the heart of Sinclair Cole's underground server bunker. Monitors pulsed, drones buzzed, and teams of loyal coders worked in silence. They had less than 48 hours to decide whether to launch the intelligence system. If they didn't, the consortium would. But if they did, it would expose the world's darkest secrets. We don't weaponize truth. We let people choose what to do with it. They encrypted the files, made them public, and released the platform open source. No control, no ownership, just truth. Chapter 62, The Backlash. The world erupted. Governments panicked. Blacklists circulated. Major networks tried to suppress the leak, but it was too late. But it was too late. The truth spread like wildfire. Hidden accounts, bribery, secret arms deals, the underbelly of empires exposed, including their own. Sinclair Cole's stocks plummeted, but their integrity soared. Journalists, they sacrificed billions to end digital tyranny. Are Ava Sinclair and Ethan Cole heroes or threats? Chapter 63, The Trial. The World Court called Ava and Ethan to testify for unleashing a tech that could destabilize civilization. Ava, civilization already was destabilized. We just pulled back the curtain, Ethan. Truth is dangerous, but lies are worse. The trial lasted 3 weeks. Threats poured in, protesters rallied in their defense, and then, verdict, not guilty. Sinclair Cole was allowed to rebuild with restrictions, but also with global respect. Chapter 64, Healing. Months passed. The world adjusted. Sinclair Cole launched a peace tech initiative, AI focused on climate solutions, education, and public health. Ava personally funded a scholarship for women in tech. Ethan helped build infrastructure in war-torn areas. Narrator, they weren't just rebuilding a company. They were restoring faith in leadership, in each other, in love. Ethan, we lost almost everything except what matters. Chapter 65, Empire of Tomorrow. 1 year later, a new tower rose on the Manhattan skyline, Sinclair Cole Nexus. They held the launch at twilight. Global leaders attended, but more important, so did their friends, families, and those who once doubted them. No secrets, no shadows, just power, built with purpose. Ava took the stage. We were never meant to rule the world, just change it, one truth at a time. As the crowd erupted in applause, Ethan joined her, slipping his hand into hers. Ready for forever? Always. And just like that, amidst the skyline they once fought to own, they finally found peace. Not in domination, but in each other. In a world where power is often shadowed by greed, theirs was lit by love. Ava Sinclair and Ethan Cole didn't just survive the storm, they became the eye of it, together, unbreakable, forever.